Hello children, welcome to our teaching video of Standard 8. So I'm Mrs. Neha Bhargavi going to teach you the geography in the social science. So let's go to the topic that is geography, chapter number 7. The topic is distribution of major industries and the comparative case studies. So what are the learning objectives we are going to learn from this chapter children? That is a comparison of the iron and the steel industries of Jamshedpur and the Detroit, the USA. So there are overall the world, the iron and the steel industry and the textile industry and the information technology industry are the major three industries of the world. Okay, and while the iron and the steel industry and the textile industry are much older in origin, the information technology industry has developed in fairly recent times and is considered to be an emerging industry. So let us study these three industries in detail. But first we see about the iron and the steel industries. The iron and the steel industry is a key industry on which the other industries are dependent. In fact, the iron and the steel industry is called the backbone of the economy because almost all the basic infrastructure facilities like the bridges, buildings and the railway lines requires steel. So the development of the iron and the steel industry has facilitated the rapid industrialization of the India. Okay, so the iron and the steel industry are the two different substances, that is a steel which is formed when the iron is alloyed with other minerals like the carbon or the manganese is tougher and stronger than iron. As steel is ductile, it can be shaped, cut or made into wire. So it is also malleable and can therefore be molded without breakage. Stainless steel contains a chromium that makes it rust resistant. Okay, I'm going to show a small short video about the iron and the steel. This is of the iron and the steel. Okay, so next one is that the inputs for the iron and steel industry includes the raw materials such as the iron ore, coal, limestone, dolomite and the manganese, and the technology such as the blast furnace, and the labor, capital, land, power, water and the transport. So these are all the inputs for the iron and the steel industries. And this is one of the example picture of the iron and steel industry. The process of converting the iron ore into the steel is carried out in several steps. It includes putting the raw materials in a blast furnace where it undergoes smelting. This is followed by refining. The outputs are pig iron and the steel, and this is the picture of the making of the iron. Okay, so this is a blast furnace and a lot of steps are included in this making of iron and steel. The uses of steel. Let's see about the uses of the steel. Steel is a vital component of a modern industry. It is used for a wide variety of purposes such as making machines, buildings, bridges and the canals and the manufacturing transport vehicles. So the steel equipment is used for mining minerals and to drill oil and the gas wells. Objects of everyday use ranging from the microwave ovens and the utensils to needles and the safety pins are also made from the steel. And the location, the largest centers of the iron and steel industry are found in Germany, the USA, China, Japan and Russia. And in India, the iron and the steel industries, important steel plants are in the Bokaro and the Jamshedpur, that is now when it is called as a jargon, and Bhilai, that is a Chhattisgarh, Visakhapatnam, that is in Andhra Pradesh, and the Rourkela, that is in Odisha, and Durgapur and the Burnpur, that is in the West Bengal, and the Salem in Tamil Nadu. And the Tata Iron and the Steel Company Jamshedpur, that is shortly they are called as a TISCO, right? And the Tata Iron and the Steel Company, that is TISCO, is one of the largest steel makers in India in terms of its output. Set up in the year 1907, it was the only steel plant in the country before independence. TISCO is privately owned, unlike other steel plants in India, which are mostly public sector undertakings. So, after a long search, Jamsetji Nasarwonji Tata, the founder of the TISCO company, found the ideal location to set up the steel plant at Sakchi in the Singhbum district of Jharkhand. Sakchi was later renamed as Jamshedpur in his honor. Okay, and I'm going to show one short video about this TISCO. So this is a video of a TISCO industry, children. And the locational advantages of the Jamshedpur are as follows: the availability of raw materials, the connectivity, water supply, and the cheap supply labor. Okay, these are all the locational advantages of the Jamshedpur. That's why they are established the steel company. That means the industries. Okay. So the availability of raw materials. TISCO get iron ore from the nearby Singhbum and Mayurbhanj mines, coal from Daria and the Rani Gani gold mines, manganese from the Pionjar mines in the Odisha, and the limestone and the dolomite from the neighboring states of Chhattisgarh and the Odisha. So these are all the ores, that means the raw materials for making the iron and the steel products, children. Okay, and next one, the connectivity. Jamshedpur lies on the Kolkata-Mumbai railway line, which connects it to the markets and the parts of the Kolkata and the Mumbai. And then water supply, the rivers Sabarnareka and the Karkai ensure the abundant water supply for the plant. And the cheap supply labor, laborers both the skilled and the unskilled are the recruited from the densely populated states of the West Bengal and the Jharkhand, Bihar and the Odisha. And the photographs of this is the photographs of the TISCO located in the Jamshedpur, children. TISCO started producing pig iron in 1911 and steel in 1912. It also manufactures the rails, fish plates, bars, black sheets, galvanized sheets, sheet bars, wheels and the hammers, among others. Following the construction of the steel plant, many other industries were set up in the Jamshedpur, which is specialized in producing the chemicals, locomotive parts, agriculture equipment, and the machinery and the spare parts. So the steel industry, Detroit, the USA. Detroit Steel. Pittsburgh used to be a major steel producing region in USA. Today, the major steel plants are located at Buffalo, Erie, Cleveland, and the Detroit. Detroit is one of the leading steel makers in the USA. The reasons are as follows. That is, this is a steel plant in Detroit. Detroit obtains the iron ore from the shores of the Lake Superior, coal from the North Appalachian coal, and the coal belt and the limestone from the Lake Erie and the Lake Huron regions. An excellent network of the roads, rails, and the inland waterways connect the Detroit with the rest of the country. So there is an adequate supply of skilled and the unskilled and the semi-skilled laborers. And the region has access to cheap supply of the hydroelectric power from the Niagara Falls. So there is a huge demand for the steel products in the local market. So there are many automobile and the defense equipment manufacturing centers around the Detroit that need steel as their raw materials. So that's all the topic. Let's recap what we learned from this part 1 of this chapter, that is the iron and the steel industry. Hope you all understand well. We will meet in the part 2 of this chapter, children, in our next video. Thank you so much. Thank you, children.